Hi, I'm Laurel. I'm an interior designer and stylist, and I rent a one-bed flat in North London. So I've been looking at the wall in my bedroom for absolutely ages now, ever since we moved in, not quite knowing what to do with it. There's an ugly radiator there, which has sort of made me feel a bit stuck as to how to make that area look nice. So I'm really excited that I'm finally going to be painting a radiator cover to cover up that radiator, and also I think it's going to give me a great surface to then make something of that wall. Hopefully it's going to be quite an easy little fixer-upper, and I think it's going to make a really big difference to that room. I think my interest for interior design came from quite a young age. My parents and I moved around a lot when I was younger, and it meant that we were always taking on, well, they were always taking on these housing projects to do up and then move on. So I've been very used to always seeing a home kind of come out of nothing. This living room for me is definitely my favourite part of the flat. I remember coming for the first viewing and it just making that impact straight away. You know, it has those traditional features like the fireplace and the high ceilings. It just had such great bones to it, which made styling it then actually quite easy. I think it's really important to decorate and style your home, even if it is a rental, because I think your home is an extension of who you are. It's your little piece of the world that you can do whatever you want to with. It's also somewhere where, you know, you gather with your friends and family, somewhere where you can create memories. And I think with that in mind, it's so important to then create a beautiful backdrop to set those special moments to. And you don't have to wait until the time that you can buy your own house. In the meantime, you just have to treat your rented home just as your home. I think, you know, obviously it's more difficult to inject your personality into a rental place. You can't do the obvious things like paint walls or wallpaper. You kind of have to work with what you've got. I tend to like to bring in lots of textures and textiles and colour more with art. And I mean, a big thing for me is always to bring in greenery and plants and flowers, and just bringing that life into your home, I think really livens things up and adds that needed pop of colour. So I've just finished taping up around the edges of the radiator cover, as the plan is that I'm going to leave this centre part in the middle natural, so it's almost like a rattan effect, and then it's going to be the surrounding edges that I'm going to paint in the dark green. Originally my gut instinct was to go for a black, because I do, you know, I like a deep punchy colour, especially if it's going to be going up against my plain walls. I wanted to definitely make an impact, but the lovely team at Lick actually suggested to go with something more like this deep green, which would give the same effect of the punchy colour, but it's just a little bit softer for a bedroom. And actually I am really pleased I went with this green now. This would be the sort of colour that if I could paint the walls I would go for anyway. So to be able to give that little bit of an accent of it in the bedroom anyway is great. Don't you even dare. Don't you even think about it. Excuse me. God, it's actually covering super quickly, isn't it? It's not a big job at all. Oh, Tibbs. Don't get... Have you got paint? Oh, no, don't go inside. Paint those pores in. I'm loving how it's looking. I'm really excited to get it in the room now. So I'm hoping it dries quickly, because I can't wait to get it in and do my favourite bit, which is styling it. So I'm absolutely thrilled with the end result. The radiator cover is dry and in and all styled, and I think it perfectly matches in with the room. It's pulled the colours out beautifully from the wall hanging I have, and it's also now made a real feature of this space here. Rather than it just being a blank wall, it's now somewhere where I've been able to add a bit of personality, and I think it's worked perfectly. And also I do still have a bit left, which is good news. So when I can actually paint a wall at some point in the future, I think I'll be using that green paint again.